Here to break it down is Bob Cusack. He's the editor-in-chief of The Hill. Bob, good to see you.
Hey, Vlad.
So is this dirty tactics, or is this just a case of Trump not understanding the delegate process and probably not having the right people in place, at least up until he brought Paul Manafort in?
Well, I think he's playing some catch-up with the Ted Cruz campaign on delegates. But, you know, when you look at these rules, they're very complicated, and you talk to different people about the rules, and you get two different interpretations. The party rewrites the rules every 4 years, so what the rules were in 2012 may not be for 2016. It is a very confusing process, and that's where, you know, remember, Donald Trump said he'd always be thinking about running as a third party if he's being treated unfairly, and he sees this Never Trump movement gaining some steam, and he's facing a crucial couple of weeks here.
So do you think that this attack by Donald Trump is going to do anything to hurt the Cruz campaign at all?
I don't think it's going to hurt the Cruz campaign, but I do think that there's a lot of discussions behind the scenes with these delegates of trying to woo them. And this is their moment in the sun. They can make national news, ordinary citizens, players in the Republican Party. That's where you have these rules, like in Pennsylvania. A lot of the delegates are not bound to vote for whoever wins Pennsylvania, which is supposedly going to be a big Trump state. So I do think that this back and forth on the insider process doesn't really change votes, but this is now the inside game. If Trump does not get the 1237 that he needs, he's going to have to really convince these delegates to back him.
Yeah, he's going to have to win going forward more than a majority. I mean, something like 60% of the votes in these states to take that magic number of 1237. I want to ask you one last question on the Republicans before we talk about the Dems. We didn't see Trump on any of the Sunday talk shows this weekend. His Twitter feed, he's been tweeting, but there hasn't been incendiary stuff. I wonder if you're hearing anything about perhaps them worrying just a little bit that the wheels have fallen off, given he's had his last couple of weeks have been fairly rough.
Yeah, they have been shaky, and part of it has been because of tweets and his fights with Heidi Cruz and Megyn Kelly, which has been ongoing. You know, Trump has been talking about being more presidential for quite some time and being boring, and maybe he's transitioning to that. He's kind of suggested he's not going to do that until after he wins the nomination. But I think his advisors, one of them being Dr. Ben Carson, who ran against him, of course, saying, show some humility, let's dial it back a little bit. And I think he's trying to do that.